Hare Krishna, Namaste. The question is, how someone like Sita Devi, who considered being the mother of universe, consort of Dharma personified Lord Ramachandra, lie to Rakshasis that she doesn't know who Hanuman was. Yes, Sita Devi is the mother of the universe, consort of Dharma personified Lord Sri Ramachandra, Ramo Vigravan Dharmaha. Therefore, she never lies. Anything that is said to save someone's life doesn't fall into the category of asatyam, false statement. This is the short answer, but adding details to this for those who may be interested and got time to hear. Just a little background of this question for those who may not be familiar with the sequence here. After Hanuman's meeting with Mother Sita, Hanuman then wanted to meet Lankeshwar, Ravana. He also wants to know the strength of Ravana's force. Hence he decided the best way is to create some disturbances that may attract or get the attention of Ravana. So Hanuman may get caught and brought in front of Ravana. In that way, Hanuman can convey the message to Ravana, give some piece of advice. With this idea, Hanuman started destroying a part of Ashokavan in Lanka, where Mother Sita was. The Rakshasis who were sleeping woke up hearing this devastating sound and saw this huge, gigantic form of Hanuman and got very terrified. They saw that he was destroying the trees in the groves, the ponds, crushing the hills like powder. They ran to Sita and asked, Koyam kasya kuto vayam kin nimitta mihagataha katam tvaya sahanena samvada kritaityuta. Who is he? Whose messenger is he? From where and for what purpose he has come here? What conversation took hold between you both? O beautiful large-eyed Sita, tell us. Don't be fearful. What did he speak to you? In response, Mother Sita said, Yoyam eva vijanita, yoyam yatva karishyati, ahi eva ahi padhan vijanati na samshayaha. How do I know? You alone can recognize who he is, what he is. As they say, like attracts like. As a serpent only can recognize the feet of another serpent, only you can recognize who he is. There's no doubt about it. Ahamapyasya bhītāsmi nainam jhānāmi konvayam vedmi rakshasam me vainam kamarupinam agatam. By seeing him, I too get frightened. I do not know who he is. I only know him as a demon, able to assume any form at his will. So this is the reason for the question. There's no other place in entire Ramayana where we can see Mother Sita speaking such lies, so-called lies. Before understanding why Mother Sita said so, we need to understand what Satyam, truth, means. Truth has two characteristics, two lakshanams. Number one, seeing things as they are. Number two, conveying to others what we saw as it is without any alteration. So number one again, seeing things as they are. When I see a pillar, I see it to be a pillar, not anything else. Secondly, now when I say to someone what I saw, I say what I saw, that it is a pillar, not altering it to something else. Then when these two conditions satisfies, then that is said to be truth. These are the two lakshanam for truth. Actually, same applies to hearing as well. Hearing things as they are, not without any mental concoctions. For example, I hear Rama, Sita cannot be separated. The second Lakshana, what I heard, I convey the same to others. That is, Rama and Sita cannot be separated. I heard clearly that Rama Sita cannot be separated, not that Rama Sita can be separated. And when I convey the message, I clearly convey that Rama Sita cannot be separated, not that Rama and Sita often get separated. Let's take one more example. Say I'm in a dark place. I'm approaching a dark place. From a little distance, I see a pillar of a man's size. Then I think it is a man who's standing there, a thief who's standing there, and then go around and tell others as well that there's a thief who's standing there. So technically, it is asatyam. It is a lie. It's false statement. My understanding is false, and what I said is also false. But there is some truth to this example that we saw just now. Though it was a pillar, but for my eyes it appeared as a person, as a thief. That means out of two lakshanas, the first lakshana satisfies, which is seeing things as they are. Meaning, for me, it's not pillar, it's a man who's standing there. And to others, I did not change. I convey the same message what I grasped. I grasped that pillar to be a thief. Therefore, I convey the message to others as I grasped as it to be a thief, without any alteration. So of the two lakshanas of truth, first one failed. I did not see the pillar to be a pillar. I identified it with something else, but what my eyes perceived it as something else is what I conveyed, that without any alteration, to others. Therefore, the second lakshana satisfied. Hence, this is completely not asatyam. There is satyam in this one. One may argue, how can there be satyam in this when both the conditions are not satisfied? Just one. Well, in the case of first lakshana, I did not see a pillar as a snake, as a mountain. Rather, I was able to relate the pillar to a similar thing, a relatable different object. Definitely I am illusioned seeing the pillar to be something else, but I was able to see the pillar close to another form, a human form. Hence there's a similarity which made me to think that it is a man, not a pillar. This is not a planned lie. It becomes a lie if I see the pillar as pillar but told others as a thief. That is a lie. Or if I grasped the pillar as mountain but then convey that to others as a thief. Definitely that is also asatyam, because there is no truth in it. In the case of Mother Sita, she saw Hanuman as Hanuman. She heard from Hanuman who he is, what the message is. So the first lakshana of truth, to see things as it is, to hear things as it is, satisfies. But then the second condition, to convey the same to others, failed. Instead of telling the Rakshasis that he is Hanuman, the servant and messenger of Lord Ramachandra, he came here to convey the message that Lord Ramachandra is coming on his way to save me and kill Ravana and destroy this place. She said, Ahamapyasya bhitasmi nainam janami konvayam vedmi rakshasam me vainam kamarupinam agatam. I have no idea who this guy is. I am equally frightened like you all. Looks like he's another Rakshasa of your grade who can take different forms. at his will. Definitely we can see that there is no any truth in what Mother Sita said to Rakshasis. So how do we understand this? The truth can be of two kinds. One, absolute truth. Another one is transactional truth. Of course, there are many different ways you can categorize the truth. But let's stick on to these two categories or two types. Absolute truth and transactional truth. Absolute truth is that which never changes at any cost, not due to time, place, or any circumstances. It stays as it is forever, for eternity. That is absolute truth. Number two, transactional truth. As the very name suggests, it is for the purpose of transactions that happens in our day-to-day personal life, especially dealings with others whom we interact with. It could be a family member, it could be someone with whom we work with, etc. Unlike the absolute truth, transactional truth is changeful. It changes. Of this transactional truth, there are two subcategories. A. Truth to keep the oath. B. Truth that is not related to any oath. Now let's first see what absolute truth means. That which never goes through any changes is said to be absolute truth. The supreme absolute truth is the Lord Himself. He never changes. He never goes through any changes. Second, we are also absolute truth as Atma. We never change. That is, the Atma never changes. It is as it is. It is only the body which goes through any changes. Though we are absolute truth, but we are not supreme absolute truth. That difference does not change. Not that at one time or one point we will also become a supreme absolute truth. That never happens. Therefore the truth is Jivatma forever. Paramatma is Paramatma forever. That truth never changes. Jivatma is the eternal servant of that Paramatma. That truth never changes. Jivatma is part and parcel of that supreme truth, supreme Lord, supreme absolute truth. That truth never changes. Jivatma is only meant for the pleasure of that absolute, supreme absolute truth. That truth never changes. Paramatma is the only means to deliver us from this samsara. That truth also never changes. No one else other than that supreme absolute truth can deliver us from this world. That truth never changes. There is no equal or superior to that supreme absolute truth. This truth also never changes. Sharanagati, Bhakti Yoga, these are the means by which one can attain the Supreme Lord. This truth never changes. It is only through a Guru, an Acharya, that we can be uplifted and develop Bhakti and get the grace of the Lord. This truth never ever changes. Hence all these are said to be absolute truth which never changes. Simple examples are the triangle has 3 sides. 4 sides cannot make a triangle. This truth never change. Sun rises on east. This truth never change. Rain does not come from ground. This truth never change. Lotus doesn't grow in the sky. This truth never change. These are all said to be absolute truth, that which never changes. The second type of truth which we mentioned earlier is called transactional truth, which has 2 subcategories. Truth to keep the oath and truth that's not related to any oath. Truth to keep the oath Some examples are Dasaratha's promise to Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi once saved Dasaratha in a difficult situation. Hence, Dasaratha gave her two boons, and later he kept up with his promise that he made for his wife Kaikeyi. This is based on some interaction, some dealings, some transaction that someone makes a promise and they try to keep up that promise. Hence, this is transactional truth based on an oath. The second category is transactional truth which doesn't fall into any oath, any promises. In Ramayana, where Trijata conveys to other Rakshashis about the dreams that she had the previous night. It's a truth, but there's no any oath involved in this truth. Another example is, I saw you in the crowd last night, but I was not able to reach you. This is also a truth, but there's no any oath involved in this type of truth. It is just a transactional truth which doesn't have any promise or commitment. That said, where does Mother Sita's case fall into? It is definitely not under absolute truth, because absolute truth never changes. It is under the truth called transactional truth. But even under transactional truth, it does not fall into the truth to keep the oath. There is no any promises that Sita made to Rakshasis. Hence, it falls into the truth which is not related to any oath. Well, until this point, things may be clear, but still, how can you call this as a truth? When the sloka very clearly says that Mother Sita did lie. Well, the Dharma Shastram says that Satyam Bhutahitam Proktam. Anything that is said to save a life from danger is not considered to be asatyam. It should be taken as satyam, truth. We saw the lakshanams for satyam, truth, that see things as they are and convey things as you saw, hear things as it is and convey the thing as you heard without any alteration. But for any such conditions, exceptions are always there. And this is one of the exception. That is, Satyam Bhutahitam Proktam. When there is a danger to someone's life, to save that person, one can lie. That lie does not fall into asatyam. It is considered to be satyam. This is the exceptional rule. Therefore, the mother of the universe, the consort of Dharma personified Lord Ramachandra's wife, Sita Devi, did not lie. You'll be surprised to know that even Rama was encouraging someone to lie. How can that possible? This is in second canto of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, 40th Sarga, where Rama is now departing Ayodhya, got into the chariot. Sumantra, the minister, was a chariot driver. As the chariot was moving, Dasaratha follows and he calls out, cries out, and even orders Sumantra to stop the chariot. That time Rama says, Na shaushamiti rajana mupalabdhopi vakshyasi chiram dukkasya papistamiti ramatham abravit. Rama told to Sumantra, please don't stop, keep going. When you return back, if at all king remembers and asks you why you did not follow his instruction to stop the chariot, you can simply say you did not hear. You did not hear his call. Can you ever imagine something like this? That Rama is going to influence or tell someone to speak lies? But he did. He did so for two reasons. One, he was in a mission. His journey should not be delayed. Secondly, stopping the chariot is further going to increase Dasaratha's distress. It is going to be more emotional for everyone around there. Therefore, to manage the situation, the given situation, Rama wanted to proceed. Hence he told Sumantra, if at all he has been asked, tell Dasaratha that you did not hear. By this, you have helped me and you have also helped Dasaratha and the people around here. So we can see it is not only in the case of Mother Sita, even Lord Ramachandra said things that appears to be asatyam. But this also doesn't fall into asatyam for the reasons that we saw. One last reason, then I will stop. After Dasaratha's death, Vasishta, the Kulaguru, sends the messenger to bring back Bharata and Shatrughna from their maternal uncle place, Kaikeya Desha. And Vasishta specifically tells to the messenger not to convey anything that happened here in Ayodhya, but to just bring them here. As soon as the messenger reaches the Kaikeya Desha to the kingdom, Bharata asks the messenger, I hope the king Dasaratha is quite safe. I hope Rama and Lakshmana are doing well. And he inquired about the mothers, Kaushalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. On hearing these words from Bharata, the messengers, with great respect, said, Kushala te naravyagra yesham kushalam ichchasi shrishchatvam brunute padma yujyatham chapite rakaha. This comes in the second canto of Valmiki Ramayana, 70th Sarga, 12th Sloka. O Bharata, tiger among men, those of whom you enquired are all well. Well, we know very well, reading Ramayana, hearing Ramayana, that is not true. Dasaratha is no more. He died. Rama and Lakshmana is not doing well. They left the forest. Seeing that, Kaushalya and Sumitra are completely broken down. Then why did they lie? Even Vasishta, the Kula Guru, encouraged them to not to convey any of such messages if asked, for the same reason. If Bharata heard, Dasaratha is no more. More than that, if he heard Rama and Lakshmana left the forest, then he cannot hold his life. Therefore, this is also not asatyam, the messenger's message to Bharata. It falls under the category of satyam. To conclude, let's carefully apply this thin line of difference between satyam and asatyam in our life during interaction with whom we come across. General rule is one should not lie even for a joking purpose. But the exception is there, as we saw the examples. Thank you. Hare Krishna.